Pen pals, quick public service announcement. Now, this video is for people who actually want to learn screenwriting. If you're one of those people who's like, I'm just going to write what I want to write, it's not for you. Keep scrolling. For those of you who actually care about craft, you're my people. Hello, you can stay. You guys know I read a lot of screenplays, obviously, because I am a script consultant, which means that I help screenwriters to develop not only their writing, but themselves as a writer. So I read a lot of screenplays. And the number one, the biggest issue is that there is no inciting incident. Now, I will often have writers who want to kind of go back and forth on that notion. They will actually reply to our return service email with line by line of what they disagree with. Like, number one, nobody asked you that. Number two, if you don't like the notes, that's okay. You can always go somewhere else and get notes. And then what you should do is compare and contrast and see if anything comes up in both places. So they will argue there is an inciting incident. This is what it is. Now, the reason that they think that there is an inciting incident is because they wrote it. They know why they wrote it. They know why their characters are doing X, Y, and Z. The reason they don't understand that there is not an inciting incident is because they don't know the function of an inciting incident. If your inciting incident does not cause your character to get active, focused on reaching a goal or solving a problem, you don't have an inciting incident. Now, let's do a sports analogy because that always works for people. If I am hitting a football with a tennis racket, am I playing football? I'm not. Am I playing tennis? I'm not. But I have a football. You might be holding a football, but you are not playing football. But I have a tennis racket. You might be holding a tennis racket, but you're not playing tennis. Maybe you're playing catch. Maybe you're just hitting the ball around, but you're not playing football or tennis. Let's look at basketball. This is why there's a name for horse, because playing horse is not playing basketball. In order to play basketball, you got to go up and down the court. When you play horse, you stand still, you take your turn, you miss, you hit, whatever, you keep moving. It just because you're using the basketball doesn't mean you're playing basketball. So just because you are writing something in screenplay format does not mean you're writing a screenplay. You're writing something, but not a screenplay if you don't have an inciting incident that creates a problem or goal for your character to then get active to go get done. If that's not happening, you not only are not writing a screenplay, you're not writing a story. And that's okay because you can learn if you learn the function of the beats. And as much as this is about creativity and as much as this is about telling your story and building worlds, etc., like math, like sports, there are rules that make it that sport. So you have to have an inciting incident in order to be telling a story, in order to be writing a screenplay. Here's an example. I don't want to watch your characters sit around and smoke all day. If I want to see people smoking outside, smoking at the neighbor's house, smoking down the street, I can just go outside and watch people do their day-to-day life. That's not interesting. Let me tell you what is interesting. Your plan was to smoke all day, but it's thwarted when you realize that you have smoked your own supply and have to get the money back or you'll die. That's why I'm here. I'm here for the problem, not the smoke. I'm here because in the middle of smoking, you said to yourself, uh-oh, I probably shouldn't have done that because now I have a problem. And that problem is I have to pay somebody back, which means I'm now going to actively watch this character try to make some money, try to talk their way out of owing money. Try to make it so they don't die. The don't die part is the stakes. We want the problem, not the smoke. Okay, y'all, happy writing.
The professional pen. The professional pen.